Hi everyone, welcome to English 2, Unit 11, Lecture 1. Today we're going to be looking at the present perfect tense, okay? And we're going to be talking about our experiences. Okay? So usually when we study the present perfect, we are talking about experiences, things we have done in the past. We're not so much talking about the time that we did it, but we're focusing on the action or the experience itself. Okay, so time is not so important, or specific time is not so important. We're talking about an action or an event or an experience that happened at any time in the past. Okay, so you may have had experience with this type of grammar. Have you ever studied the present perfect? Okay, we're going to find out about your experiences with this grammar. As with many pieces of grammar, of English grammar, maybe this is something you have studied in the past. So maybe this is an experience you have, and maybe this is a review. Okay. If it's difficult, we're about to find out. Let's go to page 84 of Unit 11, and we're going to do the starter activity, as we usually do. Okay. What does it say? It says, write sentences about your experiences. Start with the words I have or I haven't, and use the past participle of each verb. Okay. So in the pictures, you can see many actions, maybe many experiences. Okay. Now, if this is something you have done, you can write I have or I haven't. Okay. If it's something you have not done, you can simply write I haven't. Okay. So look at the first picture. Okay, we see a person. He's outdoors. We see some snow, and he's using a snowboard. Okay. All right. So the verb we can use is go snowboarding. Okay. Now, so the verb is go. The name of the activity is snowboarding. Okay, so we know that's there. Now, for me personally, this is something that I haven't done. Okay, I haven't gone snowboarding. So that's what you can write for the first one. Okay, I haven't gone snowboarding. Okay? Or maybe for you, maybe the answer is I have. Okay, so your answer might be different. For me, the second picture, right, okay, looks like we see many people. They're on a roller coaster. The verb, ride. Okay, so for this, I'm going to write I have. Okay, because me, personally, I have ridden a roller coaster. Okay, so for me, I would write I haven't gone snowboarding. For this one, I have ridden a roller coaster. Okay, and for each of these, you can write I have or I haven't for each picture that you have experienced or not experienced. Okay, if you don't know the verbs, for that matter, the objects, you can find them up here. But when you're done, you should have 8 different sentences, beginning with I have or I haven't, finishing with these objects, and then in the middle, these verbs that are in the correct tense. Okay, I'll let you do that. When we're finished, we'll do a quick review. Okay, so we're going to review this later when we are finish the grammar activity. So basically, if you can do this starter activity on your own, you will not have very much difficulty with Unit 11. But for those of you who need a bit of help, I think we're going to do the grammar lesson first, then we will come back and review the starter activity. But I already told you the first one. For me, I haven't gone snowboarding. I have ridden, check that, I have ridden a roller coaster. Okay. I can talk about the other 6 later. For now, let's look at some, before we look at some grammar, let us do some listening. Okay, so before we review that, we'll look at grammar. Before we look at grammar, we'll look at language in use. Okay, I'm going to play a track. It's here at the bottom of the screen. It is called I Haven't Had a Chance. I haven't had the chance. You're going to hear 2 men talking. All right. As you listen, see how much of the dialogue you understand. Okay. Here's your first of 3 listenings.
Dialogue Module 11. I haven't had a chance. Listen to the dialogue. Then, read it with a partner.
Check out this quiz in the magazine. It's called How Adventurous Are You?
What's the first question?
Have you ever climbed a tree?
Yes, a long time ago.
Have you gone scuba diving?
Yes, I have. It was incredible. Have you tried it?
No, I haven't had a chance. I'll go someday if I can.
You should definitely try it.
Here's a good one. Have you ever been to the moon?
What? Is that really on the quiz?
No, I'm just joking.
All right, did you get that? All right, so 2 men talking. What were they talking about? Okay, you may have heard the word quiz come up there. We're going to listen a second time. I'm going to give you some comprehension questions. You're going to find out the answers. Okay. Now, 4 questions. Number 1, where did Joel find the quiz? Okay, right, so they're talking about a quiz. All right. So they're talking about a quiz. Where did Joel find the quiz? Okay. So Joel is one of the people in the dialogue, and Colin is the other person. Okay. You don't need to distinguish their names so much. It's the person who found the quiz, and the person, Colin, is the person who answers the questions. Okay. So where did Joel find the quiz? Number 2, has Colin ever gone scuba diving? Okay, so we talked about, have you ever gone snowboarding? I haven't gone snowboarding. Okay, but what about Colin? Has he ever gone scuba diving in his life? Okay. Now, it looks like the answer for number 2 is yes, because the number 3, how was it? Okay, so he's asking to describe the scuba diving experience. So I think the answer for number 2 is yes. Anyway, just listen and confirm that that's the answer. Number 4, has Colin ever been to the moon? Okay. Again, I think I know the answer to that. Let's listen carefully and find out what the answers are.
Dialogue Module 11. I haven't had a chance. Listen to the dialogue. Then, read it with a partner.
Check out this quiz in the magazine. It's called How Adventurous Are You?
What's the first question?
Have you ever climbed a tree?
Yes, a long time ago.
Have you gone scuba diving?
Yes, I have. It was incredible. Have you tried it?
No, I haven't had a chance. I'll go someday if I can.
You should definitely try it.
Here's a good one. Have you ever been to the moon?
What? Is that really on the quiz?
No, I'm just joking.
Okay. You probably got a lot of those answers. Let's listen a third time just to check our answers. Okay, just to be sure, Colin is the first person to talk about scuba diving. Okay? First person to answer this question. Here's your third listening.
Dialogue Module 11. I haven't had a chance. Listen to the dialogue. Then, read it with a partner.
Check out this quiz in the magazine. It's called How Adventurous Are You?
What's the first question?
Have you ever climbed a tree?
Yes, a long time ago.
Have you gone scuba diving?
Yes, I have. It was incredible. Have you tried it?
No, I haven't had a chance. I'll go someday if I can.
You should definitely try it.
Here's a good one. Have you ever been to the moon?
What? Is that really on the quiz?
No, I'm just joking.
All right, let's check this out and see how we did. All right. So question number 1, where did Joel find the quiz? Okay, so Joel is the person who found the quiz. We can see it here in the dialogue. Check out this quiz in the magazine. So check out, right, we're looking at look at this quiz in the magazine. I want you to look at it. It's called How Adventurous Are You? Okay. So the answer, Joel found the quiz in a magazine. And the name of the quiz, How Adventurous Are You? So has Colin ever gone scuba diving? Okay, Joel asks him, have you ever gone scuba diving? Colin says, yes, I have. Okay, and the answer for number 3, how was it? It was incredible. Okay, so not just good, not just very good, but more than very good. Okay, so he really, really enjoyed the scuba diving experience. Number 4, you probably guessed the answer is no. Good guess. Have you ever been to the moon? Now, number 4, Colin doesn't answer the question. He doesn't say yes or no. Okay. But his response, is that really on the quiz? Okay. It sounds like he thinks that the question is kind of a silly question. Okay? Because, of course, except for a small number of people, nobody has been to the moon. Nobody has traveled to the moon. So it seems like a useless question. So, so Joel doesn't want to know the answer. He just thought it was a funny question. Okay? So obviously, the answer is no. Okay. Colin has not been to the moon, and neither has Joel, or for that matter, you or I. Okay. So that is the comprehension questions for this. All right. So again, looking at the dialogue. Right. So you can see from the questions in the first activity here, we looked at statements. Here we see a number of questions dealing with people's pasts. And you can see that particularly in the meaning chunk portion here at the side. All right. So, have you ever climbed a tree? Okay. Have you gone scuba diving? Have you tried it? Have you been to the moon? Okay. So these are questions asking about your experience. Okay. Now notice that in the question there's no element of time. Okay. We can see these past participle verbs for climb, go, try, be, okay, and have. We can see that these are not the past tense always. Here's a regular verb, so it has an ed ending. So we're looking at some period in the past, but in the question there's no indication of a specific time. Okay. Have you ever, so ever seems to imply at any time in the past. We don't know what time in the past. Okay. So again, if you're not sure when things happened, if at any time in the past you want some information about, again, a specific activity, a specific event or experience. Okay. The climbing of a tree or going scuba diving. Okay. These are, and if you don't know what the time is, you could use this tense to indicate any time. Okay, any time like that. So we'll see an explanation of it here in the grammar focus. And in the grammar focus, we can so the grammar explanation here, the grammar focus gives a clearer explanation. Mostly we're looking at experience when we use the present perfect. So again, I've never seen the Mona Lisa. We have never met. Have you ever been to Paris? Okay, so these are experiences and could reflect any time in the past. Yesterday, 2 months ago, 10 years ago. It's not really important. I'm just wondering if it's something that has happened to you. So experience. Other times we use the present perfect for completion, as it says here. Okay. Now, so something is done. It's complete. Look at the second example. We have already finished our homework. Okay. So again, that's an action that happened in the past, and it's still true now. So if you finished your homework 2 hours ago, okay, you were finished 2 hours ago. An hour ago, you were still finished it. Okay? You were not given any more new homework. Okay, so this whole time since the finishing of the homework, you have finished, or you have been, your homework has been finished. You have finished your homework. It is finished, if I can describe it. Okay. Or things that haven't happened. So the plane has not landed yet. It didn't land before. It hasn't landed now, or isn't landing now. And in between, there was no landing of the plane. So it's something that has not happened. Okay. The first example, I have just eaten lunch. Okay, or I've eaten lunch. Okay, so that conveys two different meanings to me. I have eaten lunch is a very vague term in the past, but just eaten sounds like just now. So you are conveying the idea that recently, very recently, you ate your lunch. Okay. So I have just eaten lunch. I just ate lunch. So very similar meanings, different grammar, but similar communication. Okay. Also, you can use it as it says here, an action in the past extending to the present, something that has not finished. So someone has been sick in bed since last week. Okay. And they're using these prepositions of time here, since, for, until, or until now. We have lived here for 10 years. So it started in the past 10 years ago. It has continued until now. Okay. Okay. So again, something that continues. Started in the past, and there is an element of the ing. Okay. Probably the majority of the discussion today will focus on experience. Okay, so completed experiences in the past that we have done. Okay, so let's go look back at the starter activity that we did not review. That's here on page 84. Let's try it with a practice and see how we do. Okay, so in the practice activity, of course, I told you to talk about your own experiences. That seems to be the point. To check if you got it right or wrong, of course, for the practice activity, you can only have one correct answer. Okay, and the grammar has to be right. I guess the spelling does too. Okay. So even though I haven't gone snowboarding, I have to write it in the positive. So here's a positive answer. It says I have gone snowboarding. So this is more of a grammar exercise more than a starter activity, and that's correct. Okay. Again, with the roller coaster, it's something I have done many times. Okay, but in this case, because it says it has an X, I have to write haven't. So I haven't written roller coaster. Period. Correct. Okay. So in all of these, I've matched I haven't with an X. So I haven't done this, I haven't done this, and I haven't done this. And these are things that I have done. In fact, some of these are correct. Okay. So I haven't. What's the verb? You can see a man swimming in the picture. So what's the verb? Swim. The past participle? Swum. I haven't swum in the ocean. Good. Here's something I have done. I have, what's this? Durian. Right? Okay, it's a Southeast Asian fruit. Delicious, creamy, smells horrible. You're not allowed to eat it. No smoking or eating durian. So I have eaten durian. Correct. It's something I have done. So notice the past participle. Not eat, eaten. Not swim, swum. What's this? Something I haven't done. I haven't. Travel abroad. What's the past participle? Travel is a regular verb. I'm just going to slap an L on the back. Hope they don't mind the British spelling. I haven't traveled abroad. Period. Yeah, they want you to do American spelling here, so. Correct. I haven't traveled abroad. Good. All right, next one. I think we know this activity, very famous activity. Okay. I haven't bungee jumped. In this case, I haven't tried this activity. So the past participle, tried. It's a regular verb. Let's see if I can spell. Oops, haven't tried bungee jump. I haven't bungee jumped. I haven't tried bungee jumping. So that's the name of the act. I haven't tried this activity. Correct. I haven't tried bungee jumping. So bungee jumping is the name of the activity. Okay. Wildlife. I have seen a wild animal. I have seen a wild animal. Or I've seen an animal in the wild. Good. And finally, something I have done. I have drive a motorcycle. Sometimes the past participles are the same as the imperative. In this case, it's not. The past participle of drive, driven. I've driven a motorcycle. Okay, looks like I got all of those correct. Okay. So again, I hope that you were able to think about your own experiences, things that you have done and things that you haven't done. What we're most concerned about is the past participles here. Did you get them correct? Did you write them in the correct form? Okay. So that's the most important thing. Okay. And you can find these past participles. You can find them at many different You can find online or from your own grammar books these kind of explanations. So often you'll have a verb, and sometimes you'll have a situation like this with begin. You have the present tense verb, the past tense, and the past participle. So it's 3 different words. Sometimes there's no difference at all. So cut, yesterday I cut, have you ever cut? Okay, so the verb doesn't change in these examples. Okay. Sometimes they might be exactly the same. Sometimes they will only change twice. So something like feel, that's the present tense, but the past tense and the past participle are the same. See some other examples. Okay. In a much rarer case, the present form and the past participle are exactly the same, but the past tense is not. Okay. It's something different. So that's a very rare form right there. All of these verbs are irregular verbs. They're irregular because they have a different word, usually a different word for the past tense. Okay. So instead of instead of beated, the past tense is exactly the same as the present tense. Okay. Anyway, this should be review for most of you, but you probably could find, or easily can find these on the internet at some site where you can review what is really a vocabulary exercise. Okay. All right, I'll meet you back here for the second lecture. In the second lecture, we're going to be reinforcing this language with some speaking and writing activities. Okay, so I'll see you in lecture number 2.